things here. Carson-Newman, big road game Wednesday at Lincoln Memorial. Railsplitters come in ranked 14th, number 2 in the Southeast region. Certainly revenge will be on their mind after falling here at Holt, 79-77. What do you have to do similarly to that first meeting to be successful in the second go-around with LMU?
Well, I'm not really holding anything back when I say that. Obviously, we want to try to reproduce what we did on both sides of the ball. Plan, scheme, nothing will change. It's funny. Josh Schertz, who's just an outstanding coach, has built an incredible program there, national reputation. He knows what we're going to do, and we know what they're going to do, and it'll be a battle of will. It'll just be a battle of will. Both teams have got a lot to play for. Obviously, they've already wrapped up the regular season South Atlantic Conference Championship, and they're really in a good spot, obviously. But it'll be a battle of pride, more than anything. It's a battle of pride, and I think both teams will come into it hoping to put their best foot forward.
Can have a significant impact on the Southeast region, too, from two different vantage points. One, LMU trying to battle with USC Aiken for that top spot and a shot to host the region, and then you, potential statement game to move up and really ensure yourself some better consideration for the NCAA tournament. How much does that weigh on your mind?
Well,
or does it at all?
Well, we're all cognizant and aware of what's at stake. Obviously, it's not a regular season conference title is not on the line.
Right.
But seeding purposes for the South Atlantic Conference tournament is in play here, and obviously, as you mentioned, the NCAA regional poll that is in play. So there's a lot to play for, and that aside, we don't really talk about that. I say it all the time. We don't really talk about that. We are hoping that our guys are still hungry to get better. Now, since they are, I mean, you heard Jared and Twan, those guys talk about having fun, staying on task. And, man, we've been having some great practices, and I look at them and watch our guys, and we're not going through the motions. We got guys that are actually trying to improve their skill sets, trying to sharpen up their passing, their catching, their footwork. Some of their trying to improve and expand our defensive abilities. So we're not bored. We're not stale. I think our guys are very much wanting to play, and as long as we keep that mindset, then regardless of who we're playing, I think we give ourselves a chance to win games. And I don't think we need to add any extra motivation to, hey, we've got to play for this seed or that poll, or that's just not our style. And we just believe that if you do the right things in practice and you do the right things in games on the floor, that those other issues sort of take care of themselves.
How much fun is this series now that both you and LMU are two of the upper echelon teams in the Southeast region?
Well, I mean, just because of proximity, geography, it's been a rivalry type game. They travel well. They've obviously, especially the last, 4 or 5 years since Josh has been there, they've sort of had the upper hand. But being that we got the win here in Jefferson City earlier this season, we'll go there and it'll we expect it to be just an all-out war. And I think just the sheer fact that they are ranked number 1 in our conference, and currently we're sitting at 2, and we're both ranked in the regional polls. I just think it adds extra flavor to an already established great game situation. So we'll just go up there and be as prepared as we can be, and hope to put our best foot forward, and hope our kids will play with the confidence and poise that we've seen so frequently here as of late.
You get to see one of the best players in the South Atlantic Conference on the other side of the court, and Vinny Bailey, 21.6 points a game, 9.5 boards. What's made him so good and such an improvement here in his senior season up over in Harrogate?
Well, their style, offensively speaking, is sort of an inside-out approach, which means he's going to get a lot of touches. And Vincent he's really worked since he's been there. I think he's a red shirt. He's been there 5 years now. He's put in time. He's gotten better. I think he's in the best shape of his life, or at least in the best shape that he's been since he's been in college. He's leaned up and put some extra muscle on him. He's got a little bit better speed, better quickness, more explosive. He's got good soft hands. He finishes, can pass when doubled and tripled. So he's been a work in progress, and credit to him. And I like those happy endings when you see a guy that invests time and sort of makes the commitment to be the best player he can be, and then is rewarded by his performance. And so I think he's a great example of how you are rewarded when you make the commitment. And he's arguably the best player in this conference. Most valuable at least.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we got a couple good ones, but he's had just an outstanding senior season.
Honestly, let's be real. It wouldn't shock anybody if either Vinny Bailey, Antoine Davis, or Ish Sanders came away with Conference Player of the Year honors. And you get to see them all three on the same court at once.
Right. I mean, it's really it's from a fan's perspective, from a coach's perspective. I'm a coach. I'm also a fan of this game, and I really appreciate quality. I appreciate consistency. And if you look at those three guys you just mentioned, wow. I mean, they have done it. I think Ish and Antoine have both sort of came into their own earlier in their careers, maybe. But having said that, Vinny has still had outstanding performances, especially his junior and senior season. And again, if you just appreciate good, solid play, then those three guys deliver most nights.
We talked a lot about Vinny Bailey, but he's certainly not all that the Railsplitters have in their arsenal. You got Chance Jones, Lorenzo Ross sitting out there. They both average more than 10 points a game. And Luquan Choice, Curtis McMillian average more than 8 a game. We often talk about who do you pick, who to stop. If you have your druthers, who do you have to slow down for the Railsplitters?
Well, again, because their philosophy is inside-out based, we're going to play the percentages and try to take away the inside first, and then try to force them to have to shoot more perimeter jump shots. Now they've got guys that can do that. I mean, Chance Jones, Quan Choice, Tim Pierce, in particular, those three guys are all really good three-point shooters. They just don't take a high volume of them. But they've got enough firepower on the offensive side of the ball that if they have to unleash and even get outside their comfort zone of inside-out offense, they can do that and be very effective. And that's the thing that to me would be the most problematic, is if they just were like, you know what, it's going to be hard to get inside shots. It's going to be hard to get clean shots. Let's just fire a higher volume of threes. That would be tough to deal with. And if they do, that wouldn't surprise me. But again, they've had so much success with the way they do things. There's really no reason for them to really have to get too far outside their comfort zone.